This is 5 and 10 from Skywatch TV for Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert. Appreciate your patience as we're a little late this morning. Getting caught up after our wonderful weekend in Ohio, Brookville, Ohio. The Go Therefore Conference, hosted by Pastor Neil Peterson and his team at the Harvest Revival Center there in Brookville. Thank you. We felt like we were home again for this weekend. Dr. Mike Spalding, Kathy Spalding, the organizers of the conference, thank you for inviting Sharon and me to speak. Also, Joe Artis Horn, host of Skywatch TV. If you haven't seen Joe's presentation on why we do what we do at Skywatch TV and the mission of Whispering Ponies Ranch, why it is so essential, I strongly encourage you to get the streaming video package at gothereforeconference.com. Watch Joe's presentation first thing, and please keep tissues handy. Well worth your time. Topic number 5 today, Israel. Biden calls on Israel for restraint, or rather Biden's handlers. I don't think President Biden actually makes decisions inside the White House, which is a dangerous thing because we don't really know who's running the country, but I digress. Anyway, after the Hezbollah rocket attack on a soccer field over the weekend that killed 12 Druze children in the community of Majd al-Shams in the Golan Heights, the Biden administration is jumping into action to make sure that Israel doesn't actually fight back. Reuters reporting that the U.S. is leading diplomatic efforts to rein in an anticipated Israeli response. We heard the same line after Iran's attack on Israel, 300 drones and missiles fired at Israel. Restraint. We also heard it last October 8th after Hamas crossed the border from Gaza, killed 1,200 Israelis, captured another 240. Restraint. We don't want the Middle East on fire, do we? Newsflash. The Middle East is on fire. The Middle East has been on fire since the days of Moses and Joshua. Sometimes it flares up a little more brightly than others, but other times it just kind of smolders. The media, the Biden administration, okay, yeah, there are 12 dead children, but let's set that aside. That's really secondary. We don't want the media to flare up, the Middle East to flare up into open war. Look, war is upon you, whether you would wish it or not. A line from Lord of the Rings. Look, we learned this lesson in the first grade. The Middle East, as on the playground, the only thing the bully respects is strength. If somebody hits you and you exercise restraint, it's interpreted as weakness. That is just a fact of life. We would prefer that violence not be the response, but absent a violent response from Israel, this will continue, and there will be more dead Israeli children, whether they are Druze or Jewish or Christian or Arab, Muslim, it does not matter. Hezbollah in the north, Hamas, Islamic Jihad in the south will continue with these attacks, and Israel is told, look, just consider this part of the price you pay for being an independent nation. Look, Israel is on the front lines of a conflict that goes back 1,400 years to the time of Muhammad and his immediate successors, when Arab armies, Muslim armies, conquered Jerusalem in 638 AD. In the Muslim mind, once it belongs to Islam, it always belongs to Islam. Israel is the front lines now because Zionists, Jews, had the audacity to reclaim their ancestral homeland from the colonizers. It will never end until Christ returns. Spain? Are you listening? Topic number 4, Biden's revenge. New York Post reports that Joe Biden's endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris was his way of telling Obama that you just can't push me aside. President Biden reportedly only endorsed Harris as a way to spite Democrats who pushed him out of the race, including former President Obama, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and others. According to the New York Post, Biden was seeking revenge on his Democrat colleagues. A well-placed Democratic source told the Post that Obama wants Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, former astronaut, to be the Democrat nominee. He wanted an open primary at the Democratic National Convention, a mini primary, which he believed Harris would fail. Let's face it, she dropped out of the 2020 presidential primaries because she was polling at 3%. She dropped out before the first votes because her campaign was so bad. She was losing in her home state of California, and not close either. It was a wide margin. She was in the single digits, trailing Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, the old white guys. So Biden endorsing Harris was Joe trying to get even with Obama for pushing him out. Keep your popcorn handy. This is a presidential campaign like no other. Which leads to topic number 3, Venezuela. Speaking of interesting elections, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro and his opposition rival Edmundo Gonzalez each claimed victory Monday morning. The country's electoral authority said just after midnight Monday that Maduro had won a third term as president with 51% of the vote. However, a poll from Edison Research, known for polling here in the United States, had predicted in an exit poll that Gonzalez had won 65% of the vote, Maduro just 31%. A local firm called Meganalysis predicted 65% for Gonzalez, just under 14% for Maduro. So how do you get from 14 to 31% to 51%? You count more ballots. See, in the modern world, getting the most votes doesn't mean you win. It's who counts the most ballots. This will be interesting. A number of Latin American nations have called the election fraudulent, and Venezuela breaking off diplomatic relations with many of its neighbors over those claims. Topic number 2, a knife attack in England. A third girl, 9 years old, has become the third child to die after a stabbing attack in Southport, England. This was at a Taylor Swift-themed holiday dance class. The other 2 girls, ages 6 and 7, 5 further children between the ages of 6 and 11, are in critical condition, along with 2 female adults who tried to protect them from the knifemen. 17-year-old boy remains in custody, accused of murder and attempted murders, being questioned following the incident. He reportedly arrived at the dance studio wearing a black hoodie and a face mask, got out of a taxi without paying, walked into the studio through a front door that was unlocked for fire safety regulations. He's been identified as Ali al-Shakati. He was on an MI6 watch list and known to Liverpool Mental Health Services, yet still walking around free and now accused of killing 3 little girls, and again, 5 others still in critical condition as of this recording. Coming up, Kamala Harris's magic bus. It's electric. That's next on 5 and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can easily and conveniently stream this incredible new film, Void Earth Cataclysm Before Genesis, right now at skywatchtv.com/stream or on the mobile app for immediate access. However, if you'd like to receive your own hard copy on DVD, Skywatch TV is proud to announce the Void Earth Ultra Collection. When you order this exclusive collection from the Skywatch TV store, you'll receive the brand new documentary from Defender Investigative Films, Void Earth Cataclysm Before Genesis, along with Dr. Thomas Horn and Reverend Donna Howell's best-selling book, Before Genesis, The Unauthorized History of Tohu, Bohu, and the Chaos Dragon in the Land Before Time. These powerful works present astounding revelations like no other, taken directly from the Word of God, the conclusion to the events of Genesis that merges all contributing voices from not only the young and old creationist groups, but the scientific community as well into one balanced and agreeable climax. They reveal precisely how ancient archaeological sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Doorway of the Serpent point irrefutably to an intelligent race of beings here on Earth thriving before the time of Adam and under Lucifer's fallen dominion. They pull back the veil on exactly what the Earth was like during the without form and void era of Genesis 1-2, and so much more, featuring Dr. Michael Lake, Derek Gilbert, Reverend Donna Howell, Gary Stearman, and the late Dr. Thomas Horn in what would become his last documentary appearance ever. But that's not all. You'll also receive 315, The Genesis of All Prophecy by the legendary Rabbi Eric Walker, This prophetic, convicting, and heart-rending book exposes anti-Semitism as Satan's plan to eliminate the Jews and the catastrophic consequences the world will face if this agenda succeeds. Sold separately, all of these items hold a retail value of $75. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Void Earth Ultra Collection now.
Item number 1 today, the wheels on the bus go round and round, unless it's an electric bus, in which case it may stop short of getting to the school. One of Kamala Harris's highest profile responsibilities as vice president, other than being the border czar, which the media is now trying to, shove down the memory hole, anyway, was spearheading a federal government's effort worth about $5 billion to deploy thousands of electric buses across hundreds of school districts across the country. But here we are years into the program. Only a small fraction of the projects have actually been delivered, completed. Dozens of school districts have withdrawn from the program. Washington Free Beacon reporting that as part of the Clean School Bus Initiative, this launched 2 years ago, Harris and EPA Administrator Michael Regan released $1 billion in federal rebates for 389 school districts in all 50 states to help deliver 2,463 electric school buses. Now, according to the Beacon, just 27 of those districts have proven to the EPA to collect the rebate that the buses were delivered and that the diesel-powered buses they are to replace have been discarded. Those districts have deployed a grand total of 60 battery electric or low-emissions propane-fueled school buses. But 55 additional districts have pulled out of the program, citing a variety of technological and infrastructure problems. In other words, twice as many districts have pulled out of the program as districts who have completed the program and taken delivery of their electric buses. One district in Northern California discovered that the 200-mile range promised for the electric buses only applies if you don't run the heater, which between October and March is really not an option when you get a bus full of children, breathing. The windows tend to fog up and you got to run the heater. Well, when you do that, the range on the bus drops from 200 miles to 70 miles, meaning the bus doesn't make it back to the charging station. That is really not an option. This is the government we deserve. How old is the earth? Is it young? Is it old? What if it's both? That is actually plausible. The speed of light is not a constant, contrary to popular belief. Anyway, the new documentary from Defender Investigative Films, Void Earth, featuring Tom Horn, the last videos that he recorded for Skywatch TV last year. Gary Stearman, Dr. Michael Lake, Donna Howell, and yours truly featured in this documentary, basically tackling a subject that can get a little, kinetic sometimes between Christians. It's a fascinating topic, though, and it relates to how do we reconcile the Bible with the science. Don't miss the programs. You'll see them at skywatchtv.com. All of our video content is always there. You can also catch it right now over the air. Our broadcast schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. You can also watch it at Roku or Apple TV. If you've got a set-top box, make sure you've got the Skywatch TV app installed. Over the internet, YouTube at Skywatch Television, rumble.com/Skywatch TV. But better yet, get our free app. The app guarantees the content comes directly to you, bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech, or as Donald Trump's calling it now, rig tech. We'll talk about that tomorrow. This is available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. It is free, and we have links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. Follow 5 in 10 online, YouTube at 5 in 10, X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.